Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. You know what? I was trying so hard there. And then I didn't have the volume. I was just talking about how Stephen King quit Facebook, but none of us care. You don't care. I don't care. It wasn't funny. Anyways, it snowed a ton last night. I might be staying home today, so we got that going on. And, treasuries are actually coming back. Oh, okay, so let's go to the charts and do a little bit of analysis, shall we? So here's my volume profile. E-mini. Pretty good route on Friday. Remember when we were at 32.60? I think that's about when we quit, wasn't it? Yeah. About when we quit, we were at 32.60, and I was like, well, let them get below 32.45, and then maybe you'll see panic. Yeah. Panic. But we've recovered, so that's cool. Unfortunately, we've kind of come back, and when we do that, that just kind of gives them a great opportunity to reload and short again. I'm not 100% positive that that's what they're going to do. I mean, it's Monday, and I always have a little bit of hard time on Monday, but that would kind of be my base case. Let's look at the treasuries. Treasuries just like way too high. I mean, come on. Oh, I can't even go back far enough to see how high it is, but I mean, we're well above. This right here was the Iran thing, right? So we're saying that there's more risk out there than there was a month ago when we were afraid about Iran attacking us. I don't know. That kind of makes this Iran thing look kind of silly, doesn't it? We'll go back to the daily here. You can see daily ZN. We are almost to the high that we had late last summer. I mean, come on. Back when we were concerned that the Chinese trade deal wasn't going to happen. This might be a top. It might be. I'm telling you right now, we might not be able to hold these prices. Man, thank you, Jay Constant, for telling me so quickly that there was no sound. Oh man. All right. Let's open you guys up here. Docs, text to speech, blah 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 blah. Okay, so Jay Constant says, I feel terrible. I see all the altcoins make massive moves, and I have none. Well, it's getting interesting in Bitcoin. We did have... Oh, actually, looks like they sold overnight. Well, so what I'm seeing here in Bitcoin, if I may... so let's go back a week or so ago, right? Here they had where was the initial move? Okay, so here was the initial move in November, right? Up to 9,600. And then we fell really hard. And now, okay, so to 6,400. Cool. Then we started making these moves up, okay? Fell hard, move higher. Okay, so notice a high, little bit higher, okay? So this is a very clear manipulation. Oh, wait. I'll start over. Let's start over. I wasn't showing you the chart. Okay? I'm going to make it big for you guys because this is important, right? So here's Bitcoin. The initial move back in November, down, move up. Down, move up. Okay, look at how clean this is. Sorry. Look at how clean this is. Ding, 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 ding. Doop, 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 doop. That is clean. You know what causes that? Do you know what causes a chart like that? People trying to trick you. Ain't no chart should ever be that clean. That is suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what I'm thinking right there. And when we come back and we look at my cryptocurrency metrics and everything else like that, it says that we're near the high. They could probably make another turn. So if we're doing this and you look at where the ranges and the supports are and everything else like that, we should expect to see this 9,200 fail and come back to 9,000, 8,800 and then try and make another push up to over 10K. Is that what you guys call higher lows? Yes, sir. I'm just telling you, ain't nothing move that clean. Ain't nothing. Look at this. I can just go like, I think I guess F2, right? Okay, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, of course, but I mean that's a pretty clear uptrend. But and that's normally a good thing, right? But I'm just saying it looks to me too clean. Too clean. And I would only say that because my charts say that we're already overvalued in Bitcoin and have been for quite some time, and that we never bottomed. And look at the cumulative delta in the futures. So despite it continuing to move up, the guys in the futures are taking profits. It's going sideways and it's not moving up. So how much should I buy again? Yeah, you can buy as much as you want, but the indicator, I have to say, if they break the indicator, it has not happened yet. The indicator never gave a buy. I think a lot of people gave up on it because it never gave a buy, and they're like, well, it's going up and I missed it. But this is due for a crash. What will happen after the halving? Miners must make profit. Well, so when it halves, then we could be in a position to go higher for sure. But it will take some time because it's all supply and demand, right? And it will take time for the halving to, really affect the price significantly. Now our indicator is built to count for the number of coins out there, so it will adjust as it halves, and it did quite well in the last two halvings. So yeah, Lucas, I read the virus caused havoc in the Asian market. Yeah, oh yeah. Asian markets opened down 10%, and my understanding is that the Chinese banned short selling. It's bad when they start banning short selling. But that's also usually a bottom. That's also usually a bottom. At least in the US markets, that would be a bottom. I don't know about Asia. I guess I should address another thing here, because Jay Constant says miners must make profit. Yeah, but remember when everybody said that would happen after we said that we would go below 6K, and they said, oh, that could never happen because the miners wouldn't be able to make money. And what happened? It moved lower, and a lot of miners couldn't sustain their operations and just went out of business. E-mini looking bullish. I keep looking at altcoin charts, and I don't know which alt I should buy. So here's another question.
Says I keep looking at altcoin charts and don't know which alt I should buy.
Oh, what's going on here in the ZB? 30. Oh, it did do that. We're only talking 2 ticks. Okay. I think we might get some shorts today, guys. How do you
Jay Constant says looking for an alt that's not above the 200 EMA yet.
Yeah, how do you know that they're not that they're correctly priced at that point? Because isn't this the thing that's happened over and over again? Is they'll buy
Uzi
Bitcoin,
Knesset says we going downtown.
they move the alts, and then they move
Lucas
back
says
into
scary.
Bitcoin, and you get all these people chasing it. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow. Hmm.
Jay Constance says BTC dominance death cross. It's alt season.
Yeah. But that's all part of the pump scheme, right? Looks manipulated to me. Which says I wouldn't short it yet, but I would be very careful. Like we're coming up on the last stages. So did you see those orders at 11 pull?
Lucas says I'm ditching treasuries moving forward. Will only monitor and trade S sad face.
Aw. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know if the treasuries are gonna cooperate with me here.
Uzi Knesset says you've got to dump it before you pump it. You've got to pump it before you dump it lol.
Yep. It looks like a very obvious pump scheme to me. It looks like, like last year. Last year was like these hedge funds getting in and trying to manipulate it and doing a really, really poor job. This looks to me like
Uzi Knesset says you've got to work it before you jerk it.
this move in Bitcoin looks to me like the smart guys are back and they are quite good at manipulating it. But it looks manipulated and it looks like they are quite good at it. They look quite good at it. E-mini looks like we could still buy it. How far can the E-mini go? Should we say, how about 32.57.25? They did hold a bid at 11.5 though. Oh. Ouch. I don't know about that one. Somebody's trying to hold it, but they just sold through almost 7,000 contracts there like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Could I buy?
Jay Constance says last crypto question. Is crypto inverted related to the stock KKK market? Safe haven like gold?
Okay, so that's a good question, J Constant. Because from a fundamental perspective, I'm going to say no. There is nothing about the Bitcoin, at least in its current state, that makes it effective as a safe haven. Something that would make it effective as a safe haven would be that when the larger market decreases, that people have more reason to use Bitcoin. And when I say use, I mean like actually use it. Okay, right? Like in treasuries become a good safe haven because when people um, are getting out of the stock market.
Jay Constance says thank you for your time sir you rock. Sorry KKKKK stuck.
Treasuries go up when we're having a market panic because when they sell their equities, they have to go into something, and treasuries hedge them against inflation. And so, at the very least, they know that they're not losing money due to inflation, and so they become a great hedge.
Uzi Knesset says stonks.
Right? Bitcoin, do more people buy things online with Bitcoin when this trade is going to fail? They held it. Do more people buy Bitcoin when the markets are more people going to buy stuff with Bitcoin when traditional markets fall? No. But there are people out there that clearly think that Bitcoin is a safe haven trade, and so there have been people have been buying it. Now, the split side to that would be if that is what's happening, number one, I'm not convinced that traditional markets are all that awful right now. They might reverse really hard today. We'll see. Two, um, the key risk out there is the coronavirus
Gary
in
Rich
China,
says good morning all.
and that's going to have a significant impact on anything that's related to China, and a really good portion of the activity and infrastructure for Bitcoin, it comes from China. And that is not good for Bitcoin. So there's actually reasons in my mind to be selling Bitcoin. But like I said, the chart looks manipulated, so the fundamentals of it probably don't matter, right? Fundamentals of Bitcoin probably don't matter at this point. What matters is how far can the
Jay
manipulators
Constant
get
says I
before
don't
they
know
lose
anybody
control.
using crypto for any other than trading.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a trade. It's just a trade. And it's yeah. And it's a very clearly the majority of the action is from a very small group of people that can make it do whatever they want it to. So you'd have a hard time shorting it, but would it be a great time to go long here? I'm not so sure either. Now, the thought that the altcoins could pump here, I think that makes a lot of sense because, well, they've already moved a little bit, but you'll see that rotation for sure. Which altcoins? I don't know. I have to say, almost every altcoin that I was interested in the last run have kind of disappointed me since. But, there's always the garlic coins. So, hey, I can always hope. There's a huge bump in garlic coin. They've traded a lot here at, actually at 11.5. They have traded a lot at 11.5.
Uzi Knesset says apparently NCOV has been found to be artificially injected with HIV/AIDS.
Oh, this thing. Okay. So let's talk about that. There was a story from Zero Hedge where there was a doctor that was involved in, I guess, a viral work in China. And there's a conspiracy theory going around that the coronavirus is engineered. And so Zero Hedge posted the information of this doctor, which is all public information. And Twitter said that was doxing, which is bullshit. It's not doxing. It's public information. But whatever. So Zero Hedge got banned. And they have a pretty good article on Zero Hedge 2 days ago defending themselves. But there's this conspiracy theory going around that coronavirus is engineered. And I say, you have no proof. And here's how I say that you have no proof is you go and you'll see an article and it'll be like, here is the DNA sequence of coronavirus. And here is the difference between this coronavirus and the normal bat coronavirus. And here's this little piece of the genome that is different. And this piece of the genome comes from AIDS or something like that. And I say, how do I know that any of that is true? How do I know that that picture that you're showing me is actually the coronavirus gene sequence? How do I know that that piece that you're talking about really comes from HIV? How do I know that that's the only way that that sequence could come about is from HIV? See, there's a ton of information that you're presented there that you cannot verify at all. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, guys, hold up. Hold up. You're telling me that the Chinese genetically engineered a virus and let it escape, and the United States government is just sitting here twiddling their thumbs and, okay, yep, Chinese engineering biological weapons. We're not going to tell anybody or warn the public or complain at the UN or any of that kind of stuff. We'll just sit here. Are you kidding me? Come on. No way. No way. That just sounds so ridiculous to me. Could be wrong. I could be wrong, but all I'm saying is that there's this conspiracy theory has zero verification associated with it, right? Even the people that are saying, "Oh, this is what it means." Who are these experts? Like, I've never heard of these people. They could just be making the names up, right? When the Center for Disease Control comes out and says, "Hey, we think this might be an engineered virus," then I'm all ears, right? But
Illuminati 227% says at least it honest.
could be.
Illuminati 227% says
At least you're honest. Well, I'm not trying to be honest here. I'm trying to be
if there's one thing
accurate.
I've learned about conspiracy theories over the last 5 to 7 years, it's that they're usually proven right years after everyone stopped caring.
After everyone stopped caring. Well, I mean, there has been a number of, I don't know. I don't even necessarily want to call those ones conspiracy theories, but there have definitely been things where I heard about it on the internet and the mainstream media didn't care, and then later on it comes out and you're like, aha, they were right.
Jay Constance says 911 was an outside job.
Yeah. But my position is that unless somebody can prove it to me, I don't care, because the problem is it's like a confirmation bias thing, right? Like, we could sit down and we could say, "Oh yeah, conspiracy theories are mostly proven right," but the truth is those are only the conspiracy theories that we remember, right? And probably that's like probably 1% of the conspiracy theories that go through 4chan. You know what I mean? So. And I can think of, because I go back on my history on Reddit from time to time, and I'll look through the things that I really argued with people about, and almost all of those conspiracy theories just ended up being complete hogwash. So this coronavirus thing, are we going to find out later that it was genetically engineered? I don't know. It kind of feels to me more like that this is a conspiracy theory that people would naturally come up with anyways. Like, it doesn't seem like very left field to me. And not only that, but the people that are pushing it are exactly the people that I would expect to be pushing it. It's viruses. A viral outbreak is more of a conservative nightmare than it is a liberal nightmare. I'm conservative people. We are wired to be concerned about viral outbreaks. We absolutely are. So there's definitely people out there trying to spread what I consider to be trying to spread hysteria. You know? Think about in China right now. Like, let's just assume that the official Chinese numbers of the people dead is true. I mean, relative to the
Uzi
population.
Knesset says, relative to the global population, NCOV really is a nothing burger lol.
Right. But imagine if you're in China, let's just say that the Chinese numbers are correct. But there's going to be tons of people going to the hospital and saying that they have coronavirus and having trouble and stuff. Like, there's mass hysteria everywhere. And imagine if it came to the United States, it would be mass hysteria everywhere. Mass hysteria. We haven't had a true dangerous viral outbreak in the United States since, like, what, polio? I think polio was probably the best example. And then before that, Spanish flu. And then I guess there was chickenpox was really bad for a while, but that one's not really such a bad thing. So we haven't had like a really truly dangerous viral outbreak in a long, long time. There's going to be tons of people freaking out about it unnecessarily.
Uzi Knesset says, I'd take my coronavirus on the chin. Kill me before the lung cancer does. Fuck it, I'm out this garbage world LMAO.
Yeah. Well, now I think that one of the other things that's going on here is that the viral outbreak experts From only from watching the pandemic documentary on
Anthony
Netflix.
Monroe says it's way worse, Seth. I just met personally a man who handle crisis management. It's terrible. You can cross at least by 10 to 15 the amount of people who caught coronavirus.
Oh, sure. No, I have no doubt that the number of people infected is much higher than reported, and that's expected with the way that they do the reporting, because the only way that it gets reported is if you go to the hospital and you're sick enough that they have to do a test. There's the vast majority of people are not going to get sick enough to justify a test. Do we have some numbers here? I'm just hearing manufacturing ISM. I need to double check here. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more people than what you see reported that caught it, but that doesn't mean that the government numbers are wrong per se. It's just you got to understand how it's reported and stuff. Okay, so at 7:45 we get final manufacturing PMI, and then at 8 we get ISM. So it might be a little bit.
Gary Rich says debating conspiracy theories are like arguing with 1,000 voices inside a schizophrenic squirrel's head. Tons of fun.
Right. Well, the thing that I like about debating conspiracy theories, and the reason why we talk about it so often on here, is because there are 3 edges, and that's it: discovery, analysis, and execution. All other edges derive from these 3. So what is the edge that we're talking about here? It's analysis. Can you take the information that you've been given and determine if it has edge or not? And when we're going through conspiracy theories, this is a good exercise for us to say, okay, or, analyze it.
227% says, so what's the play for today, Wuhan zone?
Well,
Anthony Monroe says by end of February, it should be 55 million people that caught it and 1,100,000 dead.
I from my order flow read, I see a short here in treasuries. But I'm not getting it from my momentum read, and it's going to be incredibly difficult to take. So here's the going on analysis. Okay, do we have an edge here? The things that we got to remember is it's Monday, and there's significant news later today. And those are 2 things that can screw us up, right? We might have an order flow read right now, but the majority of the money is going to be much more interested in participating at 10 o'clock.
Gary Rich says the internet has allowed everyone to claim I'm smart. See, just Google it. I laugh so hard.
So I would like to short it at 13, but I don't know how good of a trade that actually will be. That looks like to me that somebody pumped it up there and then dropped their bid. So that can just be a trap to try and get more buys so they can pump it up higher. But anyways, I mean, that's the edges we can look at. Okay, what information was presented to us, and now let's look at it from a skeptical eye. What is the information that we're given? Can we verify it? And I say no, I can't verify it. I don't have the genome sitting in front of me. Now, if you can show me, here was where the genome was posted by the CDC, and so you can verify that this is what it looks like, and you can see that it's the same as in this screenshot in the article, that would be verification. But the fact of the matter is it's not. They have this claim that this is the genome, and how do you know that that's the genome? You can't independently verify it. And it's coming from a source that nobody's ever heard of before. So you can't verify it, right? So this is a part of the analysis that we can do to say that maybe there's not edge in that. And in this case, edge in being able to predict what is going to happen in the future with coronavirus. Because the claim
Anthony Monroe says today if we cross by 15 the amount people who caught it, the result is around 300,000 people.
Because in this case, the edge is, will the coronavirus story become a bigger deal because it turns out that it was genetically engineered. Now, I wanted to go back to another thing that I was talking about. Having watched the pandemic documentary on Netflix, and this is where I get my expertise from. So here again, we're doing the analysis part. How much does Seth actually know about it? Not very much. You watched one documentary on Netflix, kind of half, because it wasn't very interesting. But these guys that are involved in
Jay Constant
viral
says Corona is
outbreaks,
much bigger than we are told.
what do they do? How does that job work? If you want to get into viral outbreaks, you want to work in that industry, what does that job look like? Well, there are two ways that this job looks like. One is you
Gary
develop
Rich says, hey, if it
vaccines.
scares people into hard selling or buying in markets, it's volatility, make money off the fear and greed of those who run for the hills.
Sure. Well, I still say, I don't know if it's today or it's tomorrow, but I think in the long run that you buy this. You buy the equities, this is a great pullback. I don't see any kind of a viral outbreak being a thing that like affects stocks for the next 5 years. This is something that affects us for the next 3 months at best. So if you're long-term investing, you would take this opportunity to buy stuff. Take the stuff that got hit unnecessarily and buy that. Anything related to China, at like if Apple's down big, perfect buy. So some people, they make vaccines. What's the other thing that they do is these guys, they are involved in detecting outbreaks early. So they're constantly out there testing animals. They'll catch birds, they'll catch bats, and they will test them for viruses. And then they know what is going through the population. And so if somebody goes to the hospital and they catch a new virus strain that seems significantly different from what we're used to, we can see where it came from and realize, oh, this crossed over from a bat. And what we're finding is that the most dangerous viral outbreaks, the ones that really kill, hundreds of thousands of people, very often are crossovers from other species. And what has been happening, as far as I can tell, is that the warnings about here are the things and practices that we might do that make a crossover from another species more or less likely, and people have been ignoring it. Like, don't eat bats. I'm telling you straight up, if you eat bats, I don't think any of you do. Our Chinese friend, we asked him and he says, I don't know who eats bats. I've never done it. Okay, but if you eat bats, stop eating bats. They're not a healthy animal to eat, for starters, and it's just a weird food. And to go further than that, don't eat weird stuff, guys. Like, you go to the seafood market and there's all sorts of interesting and new seafood delicacies that you can eat. Don't eat weird stuff, because that's how you catch a virus that could potentially skip over. And like, of course, the chances of it are low, but when it happens, that's where you get a pandemic. So I'm just warning you. I think it'll be interesting after all of this. Will China be doing a PR campaign that says don't eat bats, don't eat these weird seafood things? I think you might see that, because I think that this time around China is understanding and is going to be like, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. Okay, so did you see that? I was saying that from an order flow perspective, I think that they want to sell it here, but it also looks like they pumped it up and then dropped the bid, so they might be just absorbing more to go higher. And look, they did take it higher. So we were the wrong way on that one trade, down at the bottom. Not that it was a terrible trade, but we could have totally reversed that one. Now I think that what might happen is we might come back and make another push, and then if they get above like 163.12, then maybe we could buy the treasuries. Where are the key levels that we got here? Okay. Ooh, like we really have to get up high for it to actually be like from the signals that we tend to go for with the Uzi. ZN slow mile loading. I hate that. There we go. Opening range low was 20. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This might just be a really deep pullback. Okay. Even needed it too. 5. Oh, okay. It's just really far down there. Again. Da-da-da. Okay. Mm. Now, speaking of Illuminati, man, did you watch that Super Bowl? That Super Bowl halftime show? Oh my gosh. I mean, I've been thinking about the conspiracy theories, and I'm like, man, the globalists, they're trying really hard because this is like the most over sexualized Super Bowl I have ever seen. Like, they had a stripper pole and they like turned their backs to the camera and just had like 5 seconds of just them shaking their ass.
Illuminati 227% says lol exactly what I was thinking.
I was ridiculous. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then, oh my gosh, this is the best part. And then Jeb Bush comes out and says, "Oh, that was the best Super Bowl halftime show ever." What? Jeb Bush saying that? What is he thinking? Why would he say that? Maybe it was because he saw the supposed symbolism with kids in cages singing.
Illuminati 227% says in the triangle hand signs.
Singing about America? Wait, where's their triangle hand signs in it? You mean like this? Like this? Sort of a thing? I'm not giving for you Illuminati drones out there, I'm not giving you a signal. Okay, that's not a signal that the time of my power is at hand. That's not the signal. I'm just using it to verify what Illuminati 227 is saying to me. And I didn't see any of this either. That is a signal. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh man. There's a decent amount of volume trading here at 14.5. They could rotate back down. Could. It looks really deep in the ZB when I look at this now. You know what I'm finding though, that I'm not quite as aware of where the treasuries are and how far they've gone without my tick charts for some reason. I kind of miss those. Or not my tick charts, like my 2-range charts. By the way, guys, tons of you watching for a Monday morning this early. Give yourselves kudos for being dedicated to watching the markets. 5K absorbed at 1400. So go ahead and give the video a like. That's amazing, guys. And we got a good market anyways. I after last Friday, it's I think we're all a little excited to see what happens today, right? But it might be a little range bound. So they ate up 5K at 14. I would say all of the really big icebergs have been on the bid, but they continue to hold it. I really didn't see a whole lot of huge offers pulling though, except for at 12.5. And then they pulled at 13. Since then, not a whole lot of anything. This 14 looks determined to hold. Oh, there's an iceberg in the 5-year as well. Oh, you know what we should do? Remember the other day we did this, and it changed. Where was it? Reduce Smart Q font. How come it's not? What was it? What is it without it? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. Do that, and then we can make this a little bit bigger, and that. That's a little better. Okay, so they dropped big time that time.
Uzi Knesset says the news is praising how fast China built that hospital with barred up windows. That's totally not a prison lol. Gary Rich says we
Oh,
need a
they have it
catalyst to
now?
inflate these markets. So many things look deflationary. The Fed doesn't want deflation, it wants inflation. Chew on that thought.
Okay, hold on a second. Uzi, do I want to see? I haven't seen pictures of the finished hot. I remember seeing those pictures of it, like they were building it, and I was like, okay, but is that really what's going on? It's not like something where somebody was. It's an older picture that everybody forgot, and it was. It really is the new thing. But now you're saying that they did finish the hospital, huh? That's interesting to me. Yeah. Well, and this is another interesting facet to all of this is that the Chinese government has been going complete overdrive because nobody trusts them. Because nobody trusts them, they've gone like extra authoritarian on it to prove that everything is safe and okay. Okay, we did not actually get
Uzi
what
Knesset
I
says the
needed
glass
for
enclosed
signal.
guard towers with the guards armed with neck grabbers is a nice touch.
I did not see that. Really? The offer at 13 half pulled a little bit, but they didn't get a whole lot going into it. But they failed that big iceberg at 14, down 2 ticks. Offer kind of pulling for us to move up there on that one. Okay. And got sucked right back up. And look at the big old order way up at 16 now. How come did I see that one stack? I did. I can see that they just stacked 1250 at 16. Now they're showing up a little bit. Now, what do we think about the E-mini in this spot? Could be a buy. I see another little move up, then maybe I could buy it. I don't know. I can see that the ZB is sideways at the moment. Let's reset everything. Oh, and look at that stack at 14. So a significant stack at 14. So not only does a big offer show up, but we got a big stack just below us trying to lift us up into it. Well, I might not completely believe this guy, so let's see. Got a little bit of congestion this morning again, I think. I'm probably going to have to go out there and shovel that sidewalk at some point. I am definitely staying in today, though. The kids have a delayed start. They knew that the snowstorm was coming, and the school said that they're going to start school 2 hours late today. It's 4K. 8,000 have bought into it, and it's not clearing at 14.5. That's interesting. I wonder. It seems to me that we started this out with very heavy selling, and the market has just kind of like slowly bubbled up. There is definitely evidence of these guys trying to push it higher. In fact, we could get along here if they build up above 12.
Block sell.
Block sell at 14.5. How big was it? 3,000. Oh. And the ZF looking like it really, really turned there. Look at that. Look at that. That is interesting. Set off. No, no, no. Ooh, oof. Oof. That was an oof. That was an oof. What do you guys make of that one? Haven't seen market action like this in a very, very long time. Like these block buy, block sell. It has been months since we've heard that regular session. Okay, well they're ticked back up again. I don't know, folks. Sorry. I really got to go and get my new microphone. Want a new microphone? It's got a built-in shock mount, built-in, defense. That would be better, I think. Okay, 16. See, they're pulling all the way to 14, but they're not buying at 15 yet. 1,400 does not attract more buyers at 15. But the bid there stacked pretty hard in the 5-year again. I don't think they've completely revealed themselves yet. I think that we kind of have to just keep holding on here. I'm also the E-mini is kind of sideways. So no clue what they're doing on that side. Mm-mm. My gosh, guys. Twitter feels so empty without zero hedge. Okay, down tick again. Now are we going to get the sellers at the 14? Because we didn't get the buyers at the 15.
Gary Rich says, well, I guess the glass is half empty with your analysts.
Half empty with your analysts. Well, the one thing that I continue to I'm still cognizant of in the back of my head as I'm watching all of this is that in order for today to turn like buy the treasuries, we would have to be really high. I mean, we would need to make it up to like 20. We still got like 10 ticks to go. And there's all of this funky action up here at 14 that I kind of think
Rich
could be a
says
reversal.
I spelled it that way on purpose.
With your analysts. You're talking about with zero hedge? Zero hedge is so negative. So I tell you what, my father-in-law, who they are going to be driving here this week, because the baby I think is going to be born on Thursday. I think they were saying when we were there, they're like, well, let's look on Wednesday and then maybe we'll induce you with Thursday night. And I'm thinking, nah, the baby's head will stay down there. Why don't we just let them bake all of the way? But now I'm realizing, yeah, but she has big babies. So actually, it's not a bad thing to have them a week early. So I think they might induce him on Thursday.
Gary Rich says, never mind, inside joke.
But anyways, so he's coming down here and he really likes a zero hedge. That is his news source. And I'm sure that when they come here that they will he'll join us, I'm sure. So it'll be fun. Okay, well that short at 14 doesn't quite happen the way that you would want it to, right? Because they pulled all the way to 100 but it didn't sell through. What? 05.5 is holding offer though. That's actually confusing looking in the 5-year. It's not what you would expect to see. Oh, look at that. Huh. They're fine. There's some pretty big shots going across here. Okay. It was just sketchy action all around. Emini come back down a little bit there. Suppose could be part of that. Was it at 14 we took that? Yeah. Sucks.
Gary Rich says, Seth, please tell me your father-in-law trades markets and watches zero hedge. I will fall out of my chair. Please tell me so, lol.
He doesn't trade markets, but he visits zero hedge several times a day. I saw that, I was like, oh boy. I didn't know that. There are many things that I've discovered since I married my wife that I'm like, if I was dating and I had known that, I don't know how I would have reacted. You know what? So one of the things that's funny to me is that, when you're dating, you put on your best face and you know the things and okay. I would have liked to have sold that one. Ah, man, what is this? All this stuff going on everywhere. I just need to wait it out. I just see big numbers going everywhere and I'll want to take trade. Anyways, when it seems to me though that and they say after you get married, then they let go, and then you find out who they really are, sort of a thing. Well, it seems to me that it's really when she gets pregnant has been when you like, oh, okay, like the real personality shows out. Like she doesn't hold herself back at all. So it's like the, oh, I actually kind of really hate when you play video games. It's like she doesn't care. She's pregnant. Kind of funny. Hmm. Storied global investor Mohammed El Rain on CNBC with a bleak outlook for global equity markets. The coronavirus is different. It is big. It is going to paralyze China. We should try and resist our inclination to buy the dip, says Mohammed El Ran. Okay, except for that, his big thing was that he was the lead strategist for what not BlackRock. Who's the other guy? PIMCO, and he fucked up and they fired him. So why are you listening to him? He actually does have some good things to say, and I follow him on Twitter. But just because he says that the outlook is bleak, don't mean he's right. Well, they're trading big numbers here. See, they're going against these icebergs. But this one at 14.5 kind of disappeared. So are they going to get shoved back into 16? Then maybe they turn down? I don't know. It's so weird. Is it, oh, the caucuses is today too. Should we talk about that? Because it seems to me that Bernie Sanders is going to win, doesn't it? Do you see this thing the other day where the big poll, the Des Moines, Iowa poll, got pulled at the last second because they said that they put the font on there wrong, and it made one of the candidates not show up on one of these people's pages, and so they thought that would like ruin the whole poll. But then everybody else is saying that the reason that they pulled it is because of Bernie Sanders, because it showed that Bernie Sanders is going to win the Iowa caucuses. But then I was also reading from people, and I don't know if this is true, but they were saying that the numbers in terms of number of people that are actually going to participate is low compared to previous years. We'll see. I would say, like, can we verify that? Let's just wait until after tonight, because then it should be really easy to tell. If it's lower than in previous years, then the Democrat Party is in really big trouble. Okay, so they're still absorbing at 15.5. 4K. But we've seen things, well, I take that back. We did see some big icebergs absorb on the offer, didn't we? But I still continue to see it more significantly on the bid. Now, that turn that we saw there in the 5-year, and when we were in that trade, that was definitely like, that trade was over after that happened. Let's see what they do now. I'm guessing that somebody feels very strongly about the risk off thing, I guess. Nadler goes nuclear from John Hannity. Okay.
Bot says waving hand good morning all.
Hey, John, how's it going? I'm having a hard time with reading the bonds today. Well, I guess they're saying now I could buy at 14, but I'm wary about doing so with this huge offer at 16. But the book has been really kind of, how do I say it? Been doing interesting things, let's just say. I suppose you could buy it at 15.5. But we could also be one of the guys trying to clear it here. What do you think? Well, let's just stick that on there. Because with that there, they're almost certainly going to try and hit this, right? In fact, if they sold it at 15.5 and brought it back down below 15, 14.5, that would be pretty insane.
Bot says news cycle is delayed this morning. First item not until 9:45.
Yeah, good point, John. Well, and so the thing that's interesting to me was when we were down here, it was so negative, and then they turned up and I said, well, there's news later today. It should be pretty range bound. But then they've gotten all the way back up to here, and I guess that's not incredibly unusual, but in through this area, there was some really turbulent flow. So we had like really big bids and offers stacking and pulling, and you can kind of just see it here on this thing. It's like yellows on both sides and stuff, kind of all over the place. So they're definitely working the book, and what their longer term plan is uncertain to me. But I am getting a potential signal here. Yes, I am. So I guess we'll just see. One thing was that there was a block sell. Like they sold 3,000 at 14.5, I think. Like they probably squeezed him out. Beyonce and Jay-Z draw attention for sitting during Super Bowl national anthem. Oh, yeah, I said that too. Yeah, what you gonna do? I already knew that they were like that. Okay, where was that click? At 15.5. So he's trying to squeeze them into
Bot
it.
says new month, week and day that started out at 164.02, so they're trying to find their way back.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Look at that. 10K at 16. And look at now the E-mini's doing something. What's the E-mini doing there? I mean, the treasuries say buy. First bar where I could potentially do it. I don't want to buy into 16 though.
Bot says 50% retraces at 163.18 plus or minus.
At 18. Curious. Well, 15 is the opening range low. So if they get up to 18 and then stall out, we might have a short. But
Bot
on the other
says yep.
hand, kind of is going to depend significantly on the E-mini, isn't it? And the thing that I see in the E-mini is, yes, they are recovering. But, oh, look at that. You would have gotten filled at 15.5, but it's 12K there. What the heck? Wow. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Bot says opening range low, not at 15.
That's what my thing says. Did it not load correctly? The extended session opening range. Clear load. 15. That's from the extended section.
Bot says, what opening range are you looking at?
Overnight.
Overnight open?
Yep. Overnight open first hour. 163.15 to 05. Look at that really big opening range. Yep, that's right. 15. Yep, that's right. I got it right. Okay, but 10K there, and then 13K at 15.5. I don't know. See this right here? I don't know what to do when that happens. And it's been happened on Friday. It's happening today.
Bot says, yeah, on 1 5-minute bar too.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was giving me a long at 15. 14, I guess. It was giving me a long at 14. And now it's already kind of saying maybe not.
Bot says, but why are you looking at the Globix opening range?
That's one of the things that Uzi has pointed out to us that has looked really good many times. So what you will tend to see is a push. Oops, I clicked the wrong button over there. What you will tend to see is a strong push to that opening range, and then oftentimes it will fail it, and then the trend will continue back down. So we'll see the E-mini ticked up there a little bit. And I see that the bid at 14.
Uzi Knesset says, I mean, that turn at 15 though, person shrugging.
Right? That was so fast too. And look at the way the offer
Bot says, okay.
Look at the way that the offer turned down. Oh man. Yeah, so I have like these things that get put on my DOM automatically, John, right? Like there's the opening range, and then I have the previous high, low, close are also important. And then I have your bull bear zone too. Although the bull bear zone one, I'm kind of using it inappropriately. Sometimes it doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. Like here on this one, I'm only getting the bull bear zone low. Like it works well on the chart, but with the chart that I have it set up on, it creates error. I should probably look into that. So are they gonna sell all of this delta? What? Those bids pulled. Crazy pull.
Gary Rich says, always look at the previous session's range. They will drive it up, DN, and watch for a rotation. 50% retracements up, DN matter.
Yeah. So tell me this. If we push back down to the lows of the day and they never got to the 50% retracement, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that they're really serious about the sell? Or does that mean that maybe there's a chance that there could be another push back up before the E-mini open? I didn't even notice here. We're so close to the E-mini open. That's interesting as well. They're bidding up a little bit going into the open. It's actually getting close to a spot where maybe I might buy it at like 40, 41, I guess. Well, that short sure worked out. I was kind of worried that I was being a little too, what is the word? Impulsive by selling it there, but I saw that there was the pulls and there was a chance of getting filled at 14.5, so I took it, and look at that go. So far, so good. If you're betting on Iowa caucuses, Betfair could be playing out on a different winner than Ladbrokes. And there's a website called politicalbetting.com. Let's see what they say. Iowa caucuses are a unique form and are highly complicated. That perception could be even more the
Gary
case
Rich says it stalls out, but have to be patient for the trust to come. It always happens. At times it's just stuck in a tight range. Bot says, interesting that it reversed at 15, but I was looking more closely at the two price pivot highs at 5:05 and 6:05 a.m. that are at 15 on a 5-minute chart.
Okay.
Uzi Knesset says we still above 50% of the last hour's range in ZB, so a turn down may not necessarily reach the lows of the day if the buyers decide to hold above 04.
Okay. Well, there's that huge spot of volume at 06 too, right? And we could be volatile here with the E-mini about to open in 2 minutes, right? So we see what they do.
Uzi Knesset says everything can go kapuski here in 3 minutes, so keep an open mind.
Yeah, in fact, because I really don't like being open in the E-mini, and I can see maybe a potential chance for me to get filled at +3, I think I should go for it. Okay. Absorption at 13.5. But there was a sell impulse in the E-mini that, as it happened. The bid and offer is very close in the 10-year as well. 2,000 by 2,000, which isn't necessarily a strong signal to me, but it's kind of more of a really fuzzy area. Like they're not all that concerned about. They don't have a huge bias about where it's going to go. Okay, but the 13.5 still absorbs a ton. 6,000. 6,000. Well, for them to absorb 6,000 is pretty significant considering how much they absorbed way back at like 15, right? I know that bid is stacking up a little bit now, though. It's like at 3,000. And the E-mini is fading down just a tad. Okay, the offer stacked for a moment. The 5-year ticked down at about, well, we had a decent amount sell at 13, but I don't know. This is interesting. The treasuries are not doing what I would expect to see just before the E-mini open, especially with the E-mini moving down. The E-mini moving down, well, I guess they are buying there, but it's just interesting that it's holding. Okay, here's the E-mini open. Ooh, intense. Okay. Lots of volume coming through here now. Not quite filled. Come on.
Uzi Knesset says and everything goes blunky. Here we go lol.
Yeah. Okay, well, the bid pulled at 13. Thank you.
RJ Wheel says Uzi agree with you about theories. So true they end up true.
Okay, well, they pushed through it. Maybe we should hold it, but I don't want to deal with this volatility, so. Good trade. I'm happy with that one.
Gary Rich says I know my ranges. 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, so if the 5 minutes high goes watch the 15 low, then 1 hour low etc. know what your ranges are and trade accordingly.
Okay. Well, that is very much in line with a lot of the things that we've been looking at, isn't it? So, we've been looking more like hour, day, like what are the open, high, and low of those? Okay. So we could have gotten 4. Still. On the E-mini they bought, but it wasn't like the gadoosh buy. So they could turn around here and do a lot of weird stuff. Someone would be a little cautious still. But that buy was pretty good. Was not a bad buy there. Okay, there's a sell sweep out there. I'm guessing that there's just a lot of people after Friday that want to battle it out here on Monday. Some think that the sell should continue, and some think that there's going to be a pullback. We'll see who wins. I'm not too confident in my ability to predict here. Even though I made such an excellent trade there in the 10-year. I'm quite happy about that. Ooh, there's no, it's still back at 10. Where am I seeing here? 10. Okay. Well, see this sell sweep there? So he's out there. I'm always a little sell sweep kind of scares me because I remember that December when the sell sweep would just come out over and over again and would eventually win, and it was just like, oh my gosh, guys, why is it going like this, But it was just, there was a seller in the market that was incredibly aggressive. Okay, so the buyers bid it back up, recover. Okay. Good range. Developing in the E-mini, good 2-point range or so. Crazy open. This one, I don't know. I'm not very confident in my ability to predict what happens here. I think that we want to see somebody lose. I think we want to see somebody lose and then go with that. Seller's trying hard.
Uzi Knesset says bids piling on that 04, so there's interest at least.
Yeah. Now the ZV is giving me a potential sell. It was the first one that I think I could have really taken. Would have been better to do it at 07
Kaka
though.
Silva says, do you sit on long?
Well, it looks like the
Kaka
buyers
Silva
are winning.
says,
Not sure what you mean by do you sit on long. Like if you had a long, depending on where you got it from, I think you would, yeah. Oh, I mean, the thing here is that there's a real battle
Uzi
going on.
Knesset says those momentum tails look so cool on S, Y, M, and NQ, lol.
Yeah, they do. It's really useful too, isn't it? Because you can really tell when there's a sweep. Look at there, there's some lows. Coulda, woulda, shoulda held it. Where did I take mine off at?
Uzi Knesset says do almost nothing on treasuries, haha.
13.5. I took it from 14.5 to 13. 2 more there. I mean, it looks like the buyers are winning, but it's still kind of slow. But I didn't see the back and forth. It looks like some sellers tried a few times and then the buyers pushed through them. So for now, buyers winning. Iceberg at 11.5 in the treasury. Could we maybe sell into that? And I think I'm gonna wait and see if they give me a level break trade here. I got a bit of a confluence. Like it's telling me I could have short. Actually, it's telling me I'm a little late. It would have been 07 to 04. And there's the buyers. Another little step. And another little step.
Gary Rich says the YM wick are huge, they are battling this range hard. I sit back and wait for it to break the previous session high or low, especially after a big 2% sell-off. Uzi Knesset says when I watch those index futures trade, I imagine a massive room filled with people clicking their mice, rapidly and randomly. All you hear is the echoes of endless clicks lol.
I like that imagery of a large room with a bunch of, and all you can hear is clicks. Nobody talks, all you can hear is clicking. that should be in like some dystopian movie. This huge room where everybody is silent and you hear clicks. And then somebody gets in trouble and they all stop. And the person gets killed or something, and then they all go back to clicking really furiously. Huh? There's my
Uzi
movie idea
Knesset
for you.
says clickety 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 click click clickety lol.
Okay, they gonna hit 15 half? Or
Gary Rich says I'm in the flow state.
I picked no.
Kaka Silva says can you sit on days?
I don't have enough of an edge to hold on to something for days. So they cleared 11. Now they're hitting back into 11 half. They cleared it. It was not an iceberg like I wanted. They cleared it and the 12 pulled. It's not what we want. Okay. Some offers. If it did break, we could maybe see that, but was not 100% the setup that we wanted, was it? No. It cleared 15 and it stacked again. So they may still go, but it's not the level break setup that I wanted. Of course, it might be just too early, you know? Okay. Buyer's still in a good spot. Overnight high 32.50.50. Yeah, see that right there is not supposed to happen.
Kaka Silva says Gary what type dog is that?
Why are you asking Gary about a dog? Did I miss something? Hmm.
Gary Rich says border collie actual picture of her.
Okay. Nope. Did not work out. I'm kind of noticing with this Wyatt trade now that when I wait for all of my confirmations, I just end up being late. Interesting, though, that the treasuries pulled back in the way that they did with the E-mini continuing to push up. The cumulative delta they just sold
Max
it really hard.
Villacreses says how could someone day trade without trend lines?
Well, it's quite easy actually. They don't need the trend line. The trend lines don't work. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right away. Oops, had a little bit of a hiccup there. I'm not a huge fan of trend lines. I just use my crystal ball.
No interest says Max I just use my crystal ball. Max Villacreses says I'm a professional S trader with only price action.
Oh, okay. But with price action, you really need to see. You really use the trend line though with the price action. So I mean, a lot
Luis
of what we're
Alarid
doing,
says, make the trend your friend.
a lot of what
Max
we're doing is
Villacreses
kind of
says,
price
interesting to
action.
see this side of things.
So cumulative delta is
Gary
going
Rich says,
negative
until
EMs.
YM clears 507, I can't take a trade. It
That
needs to
is
establish a base before going long. Any news can knock this rally attempt down.
that is a huge
Max
divergence.
Villacreses says, absolutely.
Huge divergence.
Kaka Silva says they don't work. Ord book I feel is most important.
That this is interesting. Which way is it going to go? It feels like the offers are pulling.
Uzi Knesset says nice little bounce off the 04 area. Tested
Yeah.
03. Sellers no likey. Boing up.
Going up. No like. Yeah, but the thing is it could turn. So it may be the case that the E-mini stalls out here and pushes down. But it could also be the case that the buyers hold it and push up again, and then the treasuries, I think, would get hit pretty hard.
Gary Rich says if you start from trading price action first with volume, you get a real education first. Then add the layers of other stuff, wisdom. Uzi Knesset says may go explore that 15 again. Got news in 2, so keep eyes peeled.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let's hold off on the news here. Get rid of that. Do that. Okay. So we're looking for market manufacturing PMI final estimation 51.7 with a previous
Uzi
of
Knesset says
52.4.
only reason I'd guess for a test at 15 is news volatility. I suck at news, so don't quote me lol.
Okay. I haven't gotten the number yet. $51.9. Slightly better than expected. That's good.
Max Villacreses says what future instrument do you trade?
So I'm trading mostly the 10-year. Yeah. Damn it. Oh. Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, look at the E-mini go. So these shorts are getting squeezed now. This is what I was talking about. A really good short squeeze. The treasuries aren't reacting to it nearly as strongly as I thought that they might. But we might be to the spot in treasuries where if they go for new lows, it might be the sort of thing where they just kind of fall out of bed, you know? It's a little bit more back and forth at 11.5 than what I would like to see, though. What indicator is that? It's a pretty good stop run higher there. Pretty classic. The problem with that sort of a one is can you really predict which side is going to win? And I usually count when I get a divergence like that, but it always says that there's opportunity. Good opportunity on that one. Okay. That's a little better. Hmm. 3K iceberg at 11.5. Goes offer. Not a strong offer, unfortunately. The 5-year not down ticking with it. In fact, the 30-year up a tick.
RJ Wheel
That's
says
curious.
487 good target for YM. Gary Rich says here we go, climbing up on the roller coaster YM ride. Let's see if it drops hard on me.
So cynical today. I don't know what Treasury is gonna do here.
Gary Rich says look mom
it.
no hands. Lol.
Them buying it. They're above the overnight high. So I want to see that point of control from yesterday or from 2 days ago, from Thursday at 32.57 trade. That's kind of the next major stop I see in the E-mini. Notice how volatile the book has been here at 11 half 12. 7K now. E-mini continues to buy. $10 to the 10 o'clock news. E-mini pushing new highs. And just kind of kissed a new high there. Only like one tick and then coming back a bit. This must be making me nervous because my eye is twitching a little bit now. I don't know if you can tell, but my eyelid is this one right here is twitching. Oh, you see that stack at 11 half? Booyah, go get them. They gonna pull at a 10 half? If you could just pull, that would be awesome. If you could just pull. Come on, bro. You really don't want that. You really don't want that. Come on. Click that cancel button, bro. You don't want it. Okay. Well, you do you. You do you, Mr. Friendly Buyer at 10 half. Remember, Powell last week said the Fed believes manufacturing has bottomed out. Though noted uncertainties, last month's headlines fell to multi-year lows. Today's data unlikely to capture full impact of the coronavirus, though. U.S. likely to be more shielded than other economies on this front, says Ransquawk. Good analysis. Will manufacturing drop off of coronavirus? I don't know. This is one of those things where you'll get a bump, and then 3 years later we won't see we won't really see the true impact for another like month or two. Oh, 3K at 11. You notice though that many of these downticks don't have strong offers on it, and then all of a sudden the bid will pull and they'll tick down, and then you'll see the strong offer. This just has all those markings of that everything between 10 half and 9 could just pull. And it would be very hard to it would seem like it would come out of nowhere. Like if you were long here at 11, you'd be saying, "Oh, see, look, my 11's holding pretty well." And then all of a sudden 10 half goes to 1500. Come on, do it. They're like, "No, we don't want Seth to be right about anything. People might catch on."
Vincenzo C says, look ma, no handles. Missed the move up.
Okay. So we're still not quite to that point of control. 57. Notice that the 30-year seems hesitant to move down, but they are below the 04 that we were taught that Uzi was talking about earlier. So valid short still. And these bids at 10 half though not getting out of the way. Another little move, come on. One more tick. Okay, so there's Thursday's point of control. Is that Thursday's? Yes.
Uzi
It was
Knesset
Thursday's
says
point of
01
control.
is 50% of Friday range, so should be a nice mess.
Thursday's point of control, but let's
Douglas
look
on
at
Trading says, Seth, you got a new fan today. So
Hey,
glad to
thank
see a
you.
Dom trader and in Treasury trader. I'm on Bookmap and pulled a few ticks with you this morning. Back to real
thank you
job.
so much. I wish I was like super great at it.
Gary
but
Rich says Crude is trying to test that ever so whole number 50 handle, waiting for that one, as I milk the YM cow.
I had a good trade, but I had a bad trade too. So I'm kind of okay. 50%. We're also past 50% of Friday's move. I'm not quite sure what to think of that. So here in ES, we are still kind of to like retrace, rebalance kind of levels. And my eye is still twitching. I don't feel nervous. I actually feel really good about the trade. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I just didn't eat enough food. Maybe that's my problem. Too many longs. Too many buy orders. They're right at the low though. And on these down moves, you like to see those pull. You'll often get like a currency correlation will come in and they'll just dump. Well, the 6J is moving down. The 6J is moving down. Where was this one? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, there was. Whoa. So they sold it down at 11. Pretty good stack. And the buyers came back pretty strong and just chewed up 3,000 just like that. And now sellers hitting into the 11 again, and it's iceberging.
Gary Rich says Seth need to work on that twitch of the eye. Listen to that Flow State podcast.
Flow State podcast? I don't know. When I got sick is when the eye flutter sort of thing started. And I've just been thinking, it's just not 100% healthy and stuff. But I felt like I got plenty of sleep yesterday. I don't know. We'll see. There's E-mini reaching for a new high, but having a little bit of trouble. Having a little bit of trouble. And look at the cumulative delta again. So many shorts.
Gary Rich says I sent it to you in Discord.
Okay. Oh, was that stuff that you sent me yesterday?
Uzi Knesset says more news in 3 watcher shorts.
Yeah. So many shorts in ES. They are really trying to short this area in the E-mini.
Live Action says had the flu too and eyes bothered me also.
Yeah. It was like I got that sickness, which aggregate wasn't too bad, but it really took my throat out. You remember that at the beginning, like around Christmas time, and ever since then, I just haven't been 100% myself. The doctor said that you get post-viral inflammation. So they gave me an anti-inflammatory steroid, which helped, but then after that, it's kind of been so. Reasonably solid downtick there. I think that some of this move up a little bit here might have been shorts
Live Action
canceling.
says don't want to get you nervous, but did you see all those 100 blocks buying ZN before open?
Yes. Well, there was all sorts of crazy stuff just before the open. Okay, so here they're pulling on the news. We're looking for ISM 48.5, construction spending spot 5, new orders, no estimate, and manufacturing prices 51. This is not something that I want to be in at the moment, but it looks like it's going to happen. Unfortunately. I guess I got caught off guard a little bit by how it all turned out.
Uzi Knesset says you in it, let it right, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. It's just a sim order. Oh, might as well, YOLO. Might as well.
Block sell.
Badoosh. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Right there.
Gary Rich says I got E. coli from a Chinese food place. That's worst, or maybe it was a secret coronavirus spy. Lol.
Can you fucking believe that shit? Hell yes. Oh, that one is good enough. I need to just walk away for a second. Holy fuck.
Uzi Knesset says
wow.
grinning face with big eyes. Uzi Knesset says I can lol. Lucas says good grief lol. Uzi Knesset says lol, he gets up and walks away, it's just a sim trade haha. Lucas says what happened? Seth lost it? Uzi Knesset says no, he banked it lol. Gary Rich says see how they just blasted the previous high, we are climbing upwards.
Let's see here. What did I miss here?
Live Action says he'll never take a
He
trade
gets up
again
and
without
walks away, and
lol,
it's
I
just
got
a
hit hard
sim
on this
trade.
one.
Oh my gosh. See how they blasted the previous high we were climbing upwards. I'll never take a trade again without a stop. Wow, I got high. Oh,
Uzi
live
Knesset
action.
says
No,
C.
no, no.
Balls. Imagine if you had bitched out person shrugging.
Right. Wait, this just reminds me of those
Lucas
ones that
says
I
come
caught
to
in
the
like
Uzi.
November.
It's just so much fun.
Remember that big one that I caught in November that was like the
Bots
same
says,
situation but
found
live?
your potty mouth this weekend.
No, thanks, John. I can't help it when something like that happens.
PTS for DYM.
So did I take it off at a very good spot though? This is the question. How good did we catch? So I took 11 half and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Obviously, I could have gotten 4 more, but that was so fast that you'd be hard pressed to catch that one. Yeah, you keep me honest, John. I shouldn't be swearing.
There is no good spot. Lol. Good spot is wherever
swearing.
you can get filled. Haha.
Well, when I look at it, from the so from the perspective of we're trying to learn order flow, I'm going to judge it based off of where the volume profile shows up at. So if I'm anywhere within 1 or 2 ticks of the point of control of that area, then I say it's good. So I took 7 half. And hey, look, that was right where the volume was. So I read the volume correctly. That doesn't mean that it's not going to go lower. But just that in that particular moment that I saw the spot that I was supposed to and got out. Like I saw where the bigger guys were taking profits and took it with them. Look, they're going to keep pushing. Well, I'm wondering now that this has happened and there's so many shorts. Oh my gosh. So many shorts. Look at that go. Now that one, those ticks down there at like 5 half and stuff was just kind of like just happened, you know? Like they pulled and they just moved down for no good reason. Oh, look at all of the crazy icebergs and stuff too. Wow. Fun stuff, guys. Oh, this puts the market in such an interesting situation because so many people are scared about the coronavirus, but those shorts just got burned so hard. Okay, something going on here? Because now we're getting more crazy. So, that's crazy. What's happening here?
Gary Rich says when they climb the wall of worry, it's fun and exciting.
Wow. I'm not in this.
Says woo-ah.
I have no clue what's happening. Holy crap. Something just came over the squawk that's not on Twitter yet. For sure. It must be coronavirus related, almost certainly. Can you believe all this? Wow. Well, this, folks, right here is why when you get a news trade like that and you get some win in it, you take it off. You got the move. You got the move. Take it off. What is going on? Ah, this is nuts.
Kaka Silva says THS. Vincenzo C says wow.
I haven't seen something like this in a while. This is fun. Oh my. What's cost 10K at 09? He bids up. He bids up 9 half. Well, not able to hold that one. And we're still sitting here clueless. Global trade remains a cross-industry issue, but many responses were positive for the first time in several months. Note doesn't include the coronavirus impact. Next focus for the U.S., Iowa. Do you really think that Iowa matters, folks? I don't know. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in Iowa. Bernie Sanders is going to win, and the turnout's going to be low, and everybody's going to laugh and say that the Democrat Party doesn't stand a chance. That's what's going to happen. Now, they might be wrong. Maybe things turn around and somebody else wins in the contests after that. But he's going to win Iowa. Just based on the polling, it seems pretty clear to me. Okay, so the sellers are still coming in the ES. This is a crazy divergence. I don't know, folks. Well, let's zoom this out a little bit so that we can see. They were getting bid up into that big old order at 10, but didn't make it there.
M says phase. M says China asks for flexibility on trade one deal.
Oh, that would do it. Aha, I see it on Forex Live now. That must be it. I don't, I'm not 100% sure how to read that one. They want for flexibility. That probably just means that maybe they don't buy that the timetables on when they buy and stuff. That's got to be what they're talking about, because that's the only part of that deal that could even be flexible. You know what I mean?
M says you thought Corona news. You conspiracy theorist, you.
Yeah. Well played, M. Well played. I really did think it must be something about the corona. I was certain it must be. But maybe that is coronavirus. Maybe that just means
Gary Rich says USD yen started off, the indices followed.
Maybe China is saying, hey, we might not be able to do things exactly the way that we wanted because of this coronavirus thing now. Maybe that's what's going on. So maybe it is related. This eye is really itchy today. I have to fix my contact. If you don't like seeing people touch their eye, look away. You know, I'm really happy about that.
Uzi Knesset says
Xian
China
trade,
needs a sick day.
But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking I should have been long at 32.40. That's what I should have done. They took a sick day, Uzi. They took like a sick week. Oh man, I got something in my eye here. See if we can fix that. There we go. That's better. That feels much better. Where could we have taken it? You know what? Yeah, the entry was at the open. That was, so I understand why I didn't take it, but it would have been a good long. All right, well, whatever. All right, well. Oh, somebody doesn't understand why Zero Hedge was suspended from Twitter. Let's go find the article for them so they can explain. I want to know, will Zero Hedge move somewhere? Like, will they create a Gab account? Because I don't think that they actually have a Gab account. It's funny, you want to find the story. It's already like 4 pages back. That's how much stuff they post. Okay, well, it looks like most of that move up in the treasuries has retraced essentially. That sure was cray-cray.
Gary Rich says at times you have to be a contrarian and counter trend moves.
Yeah.
Vincenzo C says, Dear World, China cannot come to school today.
Lowest pop. Oh, here we go. Zero Hedge suspended on Twitter. Well, we can't take a trade anymore. For sure. In the treasuries. Now, in the equities, it's interesting that they came back to our moving average and bounced off of it. Is that supposed to happen, Gary? Is that one that you can take? You think it's a really strong uptrend? They come down and test that moving average, you buy it? That's the first time I've seen that. But it sure did clearly come one tick short and bounce.
Gary Rich says, Dear World, China sick day, no fried rice or egg rolls.
No bats. Listen, I don't care what it is that you know, there's a lot of great Chinese food. My dad, he went to Hong Kong and he would always make us good Chinese food, and there has to be Chinese food at least once a week. Okay?
Bot says,
but no
where
bats.
did you post that article about Zero Hedge?
I posted it on my Twitter. I will link it here in YouTube chat if you really want, so you can see what happened. But the gist of it was,
Silva says that sound is like radio detector.
The gist of it is that Zero Hedge has been engaging in
Speculator Seth says
coronavirus conspiracy theories, and they were one of the conspiracy theories is that a particular doctor is responsible or in some way involved, and they posted information about this doctor. Information that is public information, so it is not doxing, but it was public information that they posted. And the Twitter did not like that. Twitter thought that was so not okay, and so they banned them. And they believe that it was that BuzzFeed, Zero Hedges presenting it as BuzzFeed reported us, and because it was BuzzFeed, they heated it and banned us. And then they went and they pointed all of the bad things that BuzzFeed has done and that this particular author has done in doxing people and stuff that never got them suspended. So I think that Zero Hedge has a pretty strong argument. If Twitter does not rescind the ban, and I'm sure that Zero Hedge is being quiet about it because they want their Twitter account back. But if it doesn't get rescinded, I wonder if he goes somewhere else. Because of all of the people that I've seen suspended on Twitter lately, if any of them has power to make another network go big, I think that Zero Hedge is the one to do it. Because like the problem with so like Gab, for instance, okay, like the problem with Gab is that everybody over there on Gab is crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's some interesting people there that you know, but they're all right wingers, and there's a ton of like really ridiculous, crazy right wingers, and so it's kind of not that interesting because it's just like an echo chamber. And for me, because I'm mostly interested in markets, you don't get a whole lot of you know, financial news over there. But if Zero Hedge all of a sudden starts posting on Gab,
says Zero Hedge has no shirt.
Has no t-shirt. Well, we'll see if they rescind it or not. When it first happened, I'm like, there's no way that's going to stay that way. But I don't know. I mean, Zero Hedge is a pretty, what do we say? Like Zero Hedge warrants a passing mention in the zeitgeist, you know? They're culturally significant. Had them Twitter is not as good of a service without Zero Hedge. I mean, we read tweets from them every day, don't we? Gary's still long.
Gary Rich says I'm still long at 507 YM. I want to see 1.25% up on YM. If so, I'll book it and go do something else.
Well, this range isn't too bad, you know? I think if I had caught my long in the ES, that this is for my strategy at least, which is very much a scalping strategy. You know, we caught the swing and there's distribution and you got to take it off around 61.50. Maybe you catch the higher end of it, so it's 32.62, or maybe even 32.62.50. But then past that, it's slim pickings. As if I bring this over here, right? Well, so we're saying that, where is it? Okay, we got all this up. Woohoo. Okay, now down. Something has happened. This was an event. This was an event. So we have to reprice. And I would say that it's very difficult to say that the markets are now worth more than they were at this point, okay? So then we got all this stuff. So here's the point of control here. And then there's this spot. And then we've got this spot. And so I say, oh, and then on the downside, we got this spot.
Gary Rich says the night session opened up 0.5%, which gave me a hint. It never broke the Friday's low. It's a tell.
So I think that we should develop a range. I think that the middle of the range is somewhere in here. And you're going to see moves testing the upside, and you're going to see moves testing the downside in the next few weeks. And that's where we've established things. So we got to the upper end of this range. We could see this thing right here. But other than that, after that, then you start to get, okay, here's this and this. These are like less and less and less likely. Like this one right now, I think is maybe like 40%. And this one is like probably like 20 and like 5 or something like that, you know? That's the way I've been trying to trade it, at least, or look at it. I could be that framework of looking at the market could be complete bullshit, but that's the way I'm trading it. So thus, when we came in this morning, I said, well, we should come back up and find balance again because the push down overextended. China seeks U.S. flexibility on phase 1 trade targets on virus spread. Okay, so my reading in between the lines of the original headline was correct. Cool. So is it true that the Chinese government had known about this since early December? That's crazy to me. How could they have known about this since early December? Well, I think I'm supposed to take another trade today, but I don't know.
Gary Rich says this week we've moved past Fed stuff. Now it's Corona news and earnings, and econ data. We can get back all of the tour, fry sell-off, climbing back the wall of worry.
Oh, you know what, Gary Rich, you do have a good point there. I'm really skeptical about new all-time highs, but we get a ton of economic data here that is going to really change. Because at the very least, like the thing that I saw on Friday was that Chicago number was bad, and everybody's thinking, oh, the manufacturing is really bad and still falling apart, and we got the coronavirus on top of that. That's enough to move us into recession, and the yield curve is inverted, and oh, everything is falling. But now we come in and we get this data today, and we say, hey, we don't really know where manufacturing is at because we had a blip towards the end of the year, and now the trade is better, and we don't know how they're going to react to that, and it's going to take a few months for us to figure that all out. But then we get all of this economic data. The picture is going to be very different by the end of the week, and the picture could be that hey, the economy is doing okay, but we do have this coronavirus outlook thing that is a short-term risk. Okay, could we move to new all-time highs if we say that? Maybe. But we also have to keep in mind that data could come out bad. I have no clue what it's going to be. What else do we have this week? Let's look. We have, oh, come on. Why are you being like that? This week. It always gives me the wrong thing. Okay, tomorrow, Tuesday, there's not a whole lot. Factory orders month over month. Wednesday, trade balance, ISM non-manufacturing PMI, and crude oil. FOMC member speaking Thursday, non-farm productivity and the Challenger jobs cuts. And then Friday, non-farms. It's going to need to be a little bit longer than that. What about next week? CPI. Yes. Retail sales. Yes. Okay. So really the next 2 weeks, huh? In the meantime, though, I think we're going to have really great trading opportunities, huh? I think we could have really great trading opportunities in the next week or two. Because clearly everybody's out there. I mean, this is... Now let's put this in context today, okay? Well, we did have an economic number, and the economic number moved, but think about all the trade before the economic number. And then remember that it's a Monday, and we usually don't get trade like that on a Monday. So that's really encouraging for trading the next 2 weeks, I think. I can only hope, at least. What's Peter Davies tweeting here? Had several chats with traders today explaining that if Chinese companies are closing down, flights and imports restricted, then there will be less demand for oil.
Gary
Trade will
Rich
be
says
impacted.
when we hit all-time highs, I have no reference to look at. It's when I have to rely on econ and earnings, take a knee and hope for the best but prepare for the worst.
And whatever indicators, long-term volume profiles, or other magic you might have might not serve you well today. Curious. By the way, let's open. I've never tried this from within Jigsaw. I want to pull. Oh, okay. It just pulls it up over here. Sure. Huh. Do I not have a... Well, I guess I only have it over here. So E-Mini's going to try and break out here, perhaps? Well, they kind of pierced through the top of it there, but they didn't run. You didn't see, like, the guys puke. So, entonces, so, where does that put us? I suppose that puts us at, there's still more guys to stop out. Well, there's some. Is that new lows in? Yeah, it is new lows in the Treasury, but coming back. Hmm. I guess I'm not taking one because it's 8:30, but I keep thinking here. Good. Ooh, so David in Jigsaw chat was asking which cumulative delta, and I'm wondering here in the appearance in the auction vista, can you change it? Cumulative. Hmm. Wonder if I can show far back enough here in ES to really see what we want. Yeah. Maybe I don't want to show that far. And I'll draw a picture on it for him. It's just divergence the whole way. Yeah, it did. It's been a while since I. They were saying that my trade made me light up today, and I was like, "Yeah, it's been a while since I've taken a gamble and it worked out." That was a dumb trade. Don't do that. I only did that because it was a sim order. I had no clue what the news was going to be. Don't do it. Oh man. Hmm. You think that they can go lower still though? I think they could. Where so let's look in the treasuries here. Where do we think they can go in the treasuries? Like let's say the 10-year. Oh man. Oh man. Well, there could get down to like 130.26 half potentially. Like they're not even below yesterday's lows and stuff. So, ugh. I don't know they're actually going to do that, but there looks like there's plenty of people to screw over it, doesn't it? Oh, and what's the spread? So this is the 2 and 10-year spread here. See how bad the spread got, and the spread only just kind of coming up here. So they're still kind of sitting here like we took it, and you're maybe that's just a pullback kind of a thing. I think that they'll go further, but at the moment, the price action is just was maybe just a pullback. So, but if it's not just a pullback, then woo, how much further? We could maybe do like you have a little bit of sideways, and then this. It's kind of what I would expect to see. But it could also just completely reverse and do this. When did it already read this one from Gary? When we hit all-time highs, I have no reference to look at. It's when I have to rely on economic and earnings, take a knee, and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Yeah. Uh, man, we had a little bit too much fun today, guys. uh, that's interesting that his volume was a little different. Yeah, so David, well, E-mini's still churning pretty good here. But inside bar there. First inside, well, it's not the first inside bar, is it? If this inside bar turns out to the downside, I think you could start going short the E-mini potentially. Am I wrong? Alligator says risk off now, in my opinion, now or ranging there. I'm not missing anything in YouTube chat here, am I? No. Okay. Guys have just been quiet. We took that big trade, and then you were like, well, that caught a really big winner. Guess we need to be quiet for the rest of the day. What our guys in equity indexes say? I feel blind not having ZH on my Twitter feed. A zero hedge, right? I miss zero hedge. Oh, come back. Make a Gab account, Zero, please. We're lost without you. We can't we just can't trade accurately without your witty banter. Oh, what's this? Is Futures Trader doing a thing? I will be speaking on Futures IO tomorrow on the topic of the challenges of trading in isolation. Oh, so it's probably a commercial for his trading room. Let's see here. He will cover the typical online trader's journey, what's in it for you, the upside of trading in isolation, the downside of trading in isolation, a big edge for trading firms, caveats to trading in a group, and things to get the most out of belonging to a tribe. So he's finally, well, I like it. Futures. I don't like that he's charging for a room, but you know what? Some people, they're going to charge for a room, and it's not like it's a ridiculous price. But giving people a home, that's good. That's good. And he's probably a better trader than me, so it's not like I can complain. Beautiful rejection of liquidation point this morning in the 30-year, knowing where the market protects or from breaks into liquidation or covering is planning trade execution in the moment. Yes. Sure was. You know what? I have to say, what should we call this video today? Because this was a really interesting order flow. We can call it, what are some keywords? I don't know. We could go for the YOLO keyword again. Another lucky YOLO news trade. I have to say, one thing that's interesting today, well, I don't want to say interesting, but something that we could have traded off of that we've talked about before is that when you start to see all of the guys doing weird stuff, it will turn, but it's slow. And you've got to be like, okay, see this and all the big stuff going and let it fail first and then buy it. And then they bought it up to here. And then you saw it here as well. And then you could have sold that one. And that's why, kind of a little bit of why I sold the one that I did. Yeah, you know what? I sold it at what? 14.5? Man, if I had held that instead of taking it off at 13.
Live Action says, why you need stops. Good title.
Why you need stops? No, but I want people to know that it was.
Jerry is awake says crazy train.
Crazy train. Oh, man. I'm probably a little bit. I'm thinking, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to try a different encoder because I keep getting these like weird hitches and I don't know what causes it. But it might be the video card. So, actually I take that back. That might have been the network. Because today I did drop some frames because of the network. But I'm dropping more frames due to encoding lag than I am due to rendering lag. So I'm thinking if I offload, because let's look at my processor usage here. Performance. I'm using 14%. 14%. I mean, the interesting thing is it doesn't look like I'm using very much of my GPU, but supposedly I am. I don't know. I probably need a better.
Gary Rich says my eye won't stop twitching. Please help.
My eye want. Can you see it twitching? Let's see. Let's make it big. It's twitching right now. It's this eye. This is this eye. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's really annoying to me. It's I can just it makes me feel like there's something in my eye. What is twitching? You know what? I'm apparently this is a family thing. Like this eye is a little droopy. Apparently it's a family thing. All of my aunts and my uncles have it on my dad's side. Unfortunately. Crazy Train Monday. Lucky YOLO. Lucky YOLO win. But like I want titles that like if you're looking through order flow that are, you know.
Live action says Seth showing his suave wink.
No. Yeah, I remember when I was like you know, like in my 20s or whatever, and we did this singles ward, and there's this one girl. She was kind of gothy, but she wasn't goth. She kind of dressed kind of gothy, but she wasn't goth. And but she was really good with the eyebrow, like the eyebrow raise and the winking and stuff like that. Could never figure out how she did all that stuff. And I would like try, and I was like, well, maybe if I practice, I can, but I can only do it one. I can't do it the other side. Yeah, and I practice. I guess maybe like the opportunity to build those muscle memory or connections are gone, or I don't know. It was kind of weird though. She was good at it.
Gary Rich says count your blessings, you could have a real bad lazy eye.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, nothing. When you talk to somebody and they have their eyes aren't both center, it does something to people. Like Sarah Sanders, you remember her, the press secretary for Donald Trump, and nobody in the media ever said it, but every time that they were attacking there, it was always kind of sitting there in the background that like their eyes aren't both completely center. It doesn't, it bothers people. It makes people think that you're not intelligent, which I don't think that there's any correlation between the two, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh man, picking a name is so hard. Hmm. I'm just gonna say I catch lucky yo hashtag YOLO win on Turbulent Monday. I'm safe. I just want it to be like, okay, he kind of, either two things. Either one is the subscribers that don't necessarily tune in every day, but want to see how I'm doing and go, oh yeah, okay, he caught it. He caught a YOLO trade. That's good. But then also, I think that the primary audience that I'm concerned with is you're new to order flow and you want to find some order flow to look at in practice. And so you pull my stream up and you look at it past day. Which day do you pick up? And you're scrolling through and you say, lucky YOLO on Turbulent Monday. I want to trade a Turbulent Monday. And so you go and you try it. I'm hoping that's how it works out. But we'll see. And by the way, it was a good video, so give it a like. We got 10 likes. Thank you guys very much. Let's take this moment to post the charts. The charts. And by the way, did Bitcoin move through any of that? Let's check Bitcoin again today. Big move up, big move down. That was the 29th. Oh, you know what? I'm not even getting all of the Bitcoin stuff. Near. So some of my that's not what I wanted. Some of my analysis this morning about it might be late. So let's do the let's roll forward. Okay, but it is a similar sort of a thing. Okay. There we go. Oh, I guess I can't. I need to pull you guys down here so I can still see you. So it's about to die here. In fact, it just did. Tell Google to fix their live API, huh? Dear YouTube, your live API is shit. Please fix. Ooh, 3. Okay. Show it to you guys next Monday. Unless you're a subscriber. Then you get to see it that day. That's some interesting stuff in Bitcoins. Some interesting stuff. And we won't say anything about my twitching eye, but probably I need more sleep. Maybe I can take a nap during lunch. Because there's no way I am driving through that. All right, but I am going to do real work today, so. Fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for all the likes and your great comments. Good day. Good analysis by some of you guys. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah. Oh, Air Cages, how's it going? You need to come in earlier. All of the other Bitcoin guys, they already came and gone. I just posted the notes. I don't know. Kind of some interesting order flow here in the treasuries, or sorry, in the Bitcoins, but sellers fighting them a little bit. You may encounter to canal. I don't know what that means. Anyways, you're gonna get me going into something else, man. It's time for me to go. By the way, just to warn you, we might be inducing the baby Thursday night. So I might have somebody else cover the stream on Friday. Have a couple of you guys that I gave John the opportunity. Maybe we'll just have John do it again, but I'd like to give a bunch of you guys an opportunity to do it. You just kind of have to have a powerful enough machine to do the encoding, I think tomorrow also we'll change the encoder off of the video card and see what happens. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable.